Gougosh, but your birth name is Fayre Atashin, which to the people who don't know, it literally means superior and passionate, which is so prophetic, you know, I mean, to choose a name that describes you so well.
I never thought that.
Yeah, that is your name. But the world knows you as Gougosh, and so I want to know, this book is such a beautiful dance, it's such a beautiful dialogue between Fayre and Gougosh. And I would love to know, are these two personas now intertwined or are they distinct in your mind? Have they become one or are they still separate for you?
How do you notice that?
I read the book.
Well, before it was Fayre and Gougosh. Most of the time, all my life, I don't know, when I say I was, who is I was? Is Gougosh or Fayre? Sometimes these two persons fight. Sometimes she amazed of Gougosh, and sometimes Gougosh hated Fayre because Fayre didn't let Gougosh to do something is not good for Gougosh. But finally, after this book, and finally, when I start singing again, I became Gougosh.
I'm not crying. One of the first people in Hollywood often cite American films. For me, yes, Audrey Hepburn, one of the greats, but Gougosh is an icon for me and a role model in so many ways. And I want to know, that was the film that really, you were this pop icon superstar, but that was the film that put you on the map as a critically renowned leading actress. Do you identify more with music or with stage as far as acting? And tell us about living and working in 1970s Iran.
First of all, I love your shoes. You know what? Maybe you don't remember, but I'm sure your mom remembers that. Before I start singing, most of women singers would standing straight and singing because they were showing them voice. They were singers. But I start singing at the same time because I think first I am an actor. That's why I mixed acting when I still am singing. When I am singing, I act as what I am singing, what am I telling to my listeners. That's why I am actor and singer together. And that's why we feel every song is a story. You know,
feel you, your presence. And
You know, you understand what I'm
yes,
touching.
yeah, it's a performance.
Because you're perfect.
I know. I can't
Let's
believe
talk
that is
about
how.
you.
I just nobody's here for that. Okay, so and 1970s Iran. Please tell us. I mean, for my generation and generations after mine, that is an era that we are so curious about. If you can tell us how that was to live and work in 1970s Iran.
میپرسم
چه تجربتون تو ایران تو 1970 سال اون دهه 70 میلادی چی بود از نظر زندگی و از نظر کار؟
قبل از Oh, everything we had in our country, like you have in your country. Everybody, all people, could live their life, whatever they wanted to do, however they wanted to live, and wherever they wanted to go. And my country was a free country and started to be
Modernized.
Yes, modern country. We had modern country, and we started to go up and up. And we had beautiful country and beautiful people, and everything was beautiful. And they killed this beauty in my country. And I am sure, and I hope, and I pray that soon, very soon, my people will get what they lost. Because the young generation need to be free, need to have everything, a normal life, like every other countries, like Europe. We were like Europe. We had beautiful music. We had beautiful singers. We had beautiful songwriters, lyric writers, poets.
A national
Beautiful.
ballet. A national ballet.
National ballet, yeah. And disco, dancing, cabaret. I was in cabaret.
So people may not know this, but actually when the revolution happened, you were in New York. You were not in Iran at the time of the revolution, but you decided to go back, even though they were arresting your friends and your colleagues. Why?
First of all, at the beginning, when
martial law
happened, I came to Los Angeles to have performance for the opening nights of a club, new club, and revolution happened. Then I went to New York, but I couldn't stay because I born in Iran, I lived in Iran, I never lived in any other country except France and Italy for a year, 2 years. That's why my language was Persian. My work was for Iranian people. That's why I couldn't stay in New York. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have money. I didn't have place to live. And I missed my country. But they told me that if you go to Iran, they will kill you. I was curious. But finally, I wear my flannel jacket, very chic, very modern. I said, okay, I go to Iran. And if they're gonna kill me in airport, I wanna die very chic. I said, it's in the book.
Spoken like a true icon. Style icon and otherwise. All around icon.
I love it.
I was going to ask.
I'm joking because I want you not to cry.
She knows me well. No, but I can imagine how you. Tell us how you felt in that moment when the first time that you got back on that stage after 20 years.
Oh. I cannot tell you by words. Whole my body was shaking, and I didn't know if I can sing anymore. May I sing those songs after 20 years that I couldn't even hear my voice, my own voice, because even any time I wanted to whisper, not to sing, just whisper my song, I was afraid of my neighbors to tell pastors to come and get me because I signed a paper. That's why when I was backstage of Air Canada Center, and also here in Los Angeles, in Forum, I born again. I got my voice again.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, and most of all, I got my fans. And I wished I could sing for my own people in Iran. And I told the audience that I wish all Iranians were here and were sitting with you and listening to my song. It was amazing, unbelievable moment when I went on the stage. Yeah.
I hope that day comes soon.
3 hours, maybe 2 hours.
Oh,
2 days ago, I signed 300 books for you. Because I love you.
We love you too.
Thank you. You.
Thank you again.